can see. Welcome to our Q&A. I'm really glad that you can be here. I gathered a few questions, so we're going to dive into those questions first, and then I'm just going to open it up so that everybody else, during the time that we have, everybody else can just start throwing out those questions for me, and I'll do my best to answer them. We are with the Real Girl Slimdown, and this program is designed to be ultra beginner, help you accept yourself the way you are for the real you, and in doing that, combined with some belief breakthrough and some really good eating habits that have nothing to do with nutrition per se. What you put in is not what I teach, but I'm teaching when you put it in. And so this is like an ultra beginner intuitive eating awesomeness so that you can slim down and see your, take off the layers of hiding that some of us put on through emotional eating, and that's what we're doing here. So welcome. I'm really glad that you could come. And the first question that was posed to me, she said, I want to talk about water. And Sharon, if you are here, I would really be interested in hearing some clarification on this question. Are you here? Okay, that's okay. This is how I feel about water. You should be drinking a lot of water. And when we're dehydrated, it causes some fatigue. I'm going to ask you to mute yourself if you're not talking right now, okay? Thank you. Okay, so with water, we got to make sure that we're that we're drinking water in between our meals and making sure that it's not like nothing added to it that adds calories to it, because it's cleansing. Now, one of the things I thought of, because this was just such an open question. Let me see if I can pause those who are, or mute, sorry, not pause, mute. Okay. If you can unmute yourself if you have a question in a minute. So that with water, I think basically what I feel about that is that you should be drinking a lot of it and making sure that you're drinking it between hunger signals and after 7 p.m. because a lot of times we'll feel hungry when we're not, when we're just thirsty. And it masquerades as hunger, and then we'll eat when we're not hungry, and we'll find that we're not getting satisfied. So water is important. And if you're feeling dehydrated and you're still drinking a lot of water, then make sure you're adding electrolytes at your meal times, because you need that. And you can do that just by squeezing lemon in your water. So that's my water info. And she also asked, why no eating after 7 p.m.? And the answer to that is that I experimented with this a lot. And I found that no matter what time I went to bed, for me, if I ate after 7, or if I stopped, okay, so when I ate after 7, when I was doing this slim down over and over again, before I got consistent and made it stick, the 7 p.m. thing, if I stopped and I only had water after that, then I would, if I ate after 7, I would either gain weight or I would stagnate in my slim down. And that's if I was doing everything else right. So I experimented with this. This is why no eating after 7. If I stop eating after 7 p.m., or if I stop eating at 7 p.m., I slim down and I don't stagnate, and I feel better in the morning. I sleep better at night, and I feel more energized in the morning when I wake up. And things physiologically move smoother through my system when I do this. And that is as specific as I'm going to be about that. Let's see. Larry, you unmuted yourself. Did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, I did. And I know that we're not supposed to talk about nutrition, but if we're going to go into the water thing, purified water will actually dehydrate you. It doesn't matter how much you drink. It's void of mineral content, and without mineral content, the water molecules cannot absorb into the body.
Are we talking about distilled water or filtered water?
Distilled water, purified water. There's a difference.
Okay.
So if you're gonna, well water is your best bet. You want the mineral content. Without it, you're gonna dehydrate. And the minerals actually will help you not feel hungry because your body's been nourished.
Awesome. That's important. So if you're having water, make sure that you have water that has the mineral content in it. If you have a question about what I have access to water restructuring technology. It's what I do. And if you have questions about that, just go ahead and message me on Facebook, and I'll put you in touch with the person that I get that from. Okay, so that was your comment. All right, we're going to go ahead and move to the next one. Why I don't teach nutrition with my slim down habits. I think I covered that when I was talking about like in the beginning. I don't want to teach nutrition because I feel like nutrition is such a personal thing. Sharon, who just raised their hand? If you just raised your hand, go ahead and unmute yourself and let me know what you had to say. Okay. You can also put your question in the comment. But the reason I don't teach nutrition is because I believe it's so personal, and the things that I'm teaching apply to every human body. When you are hungry, you should eat. When you are satisfied, you should stop. And in between, don't put calories in, because your body is going to take that one extra bite beyond I'm satisfied, and it's going to put it away as stores of fat. And that's just how it is across the board for every human body. And so what I'm teaching is this ultra beginner. These habits will help you. And that's what I'm doing.
It's awareness. My brother was being mean.
Okay, Susan, you should be able to hear. Just 1 second.
Brother was being mean to me. Stop it.
Okay, I have a little one here since we're all real. Okay.
Mommy, my brother was being mean to me. I'm sorry. And you're about to tell him to stop being mean.
Okay, why don't I teach super intense exercise? The reason I don't teach super intense exercise is because I don't like super intense exercise. And I'm teaching you what I did that worked for me. And so if you like super intense exercise and you like to go lift weights and you like to go run your guts out at the gym or whatever, that's totally okay. You can do that and you're going to feel good because you exercised. But I prefer to walk, and I like to sprint. And I am so sorry. I'm going to ask you guys to hold on for just a minute. Larry, can you run this for just a minute and talk about some different levels of exercise and how just aerobic. And in fact, will you talk about the Tibetan monk exercises for just a minute, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, this is not about weight loss. I mean, weight loss is the result, pretty much. This is about emotional weight loss, and there are specific exercises. There's the intensity stuff where you sweat and sweat and sweat and sweat and sweat and sweat, and you literally just kind of sweat out toxins, which is what sweat does. Sweat, when you burn a calorie has stuff in it, and you burn off all of the bad stuff, and sometimes even the good stuff that calorie had in it. And this isn't about physical detox. That will probably happen during this, but this is about emotional stuff. This is over 80% of weight gain is at its root is emotional, and that's what causes it. And so
Right.
This is about emotional weight loss.
Right.
And what the exercises, even the mild ones, so intense exercise this isn't about calories. Even any exercise, this is a program that's designed to trigger you. It's designed to bring junk up and emotional stuff. And there are exercises, the ones that we're looking at right now, the Tibetan ones, there are exercises that actually emotionally open you up. And those are the most effective for this program. And in fact, they're highly, highly effective for this program because it opens up those energy centers that release those emotions that allow you to bring them to the surface and allow you to get rid of them. Is that
That's exactly, yeah. I'm excited about this because for me, I've been doing these exercises and building up my stamina on them, and I'm feeling it. But it gets my heart rate up, and I like that. But I feel like I'm doing something and moving forward. So I feel like we're going to be teaching those exercises to our members as soon as we get a handle on them really well. So watch for that. Okay, let's move on to the next question here. Somebody asked me if they could have a sneak peek of the inside of the new tracker. I want to share that, but I tried to find a way that I could that's not like just looking inside at the where I uploaded it in the publisher to the publisher that I used, and it just gives too much of my back office information that I'm not really wanting to share. So I'm not giving a sneak peek of the inside of the new tracker that's on Amazon. But if you want access to the PDF tracker, I'm getting ready to set that up so that you can go and fill out a form and get that emailed to you. So Susan, I believe that was your question, wasn't it? So
Yes.
I'll get you a sneak peek of that. You can have the whole PDF tracker. It's not exactly the same. I wasn't able to submit it to the publisher the exact same way. Okay, sorry about that. I went ahead and muted you. If you have a question, though, I want you to know that you are totally welcome to unmute yourself and talk to me. Okay, I've been asked this. What is my butterfly process? My butterfly process is a process that I take people through to help them open up emotionally and take a really good intuitive look at themselves. I do this in our discovery sessions. And I feel, and I've noticed that with the people that I do discovery sessions with, they come away feeling like they just saw themselves very clearly for the first time ever. And some people have already, some people that have taken through this have already really taken a good, clear look at themselves. But for the people that I'm here to help, the people that I really feel called to help, this butterfly process is like, it's freeing. It gives them, it's liberating. It gives them a really good look at where they are. And some people have their wings all boxed up because they're so afraid. Some people say they're in a box. I can't see them. And so we get that box off. And some people have them all packed away in a backpack because they're so afraid of them. And the wings represent your personality and your influence, that you're on this earth to how brightly and how far your influence is designed to shine. And through this butterfly process, people intuitively get to take a really good look at who they are. And it is beautiful, and it brings me joy, really. As a mentor and as a guide, this butterfly process is the first step into really seeing yourself the way that I believe God does. So that's where that comes in. I'm really glad that question was posed. You can request a complimentary butterfly process to have a talk with me or one of my coaches by going to realandslim.com. So if you're new to that idea and you haven't had one yet, I recommend it. I think it's powerful, and for me, it was the thing when I experienced it for the first time through my own intuitive breakthrough process that I was going through on a personal level. It was the thing that liberated me from the fear of looking at who I am. And a lot of us experience that. Okay, I have covered all of my questions that I had put together in advance. So at this point, I'd like to open it up and allow any questions that anybody else has. We have a few more minutes, and I would love to answer any questions that you have about my program, about the eating, about belief breakthrough, whatever it is that you have a question about. I would love to answer that. Does anybody feel brave?
Hi, are you there?
I am. Hi, Stacy.
Hi, good morning.
Oh, good morning. Sorry, it cut out and it took me a second to figure out what you said.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me very well?
Yes, I can.
I had a question about metabolism.
Okay.
Before, when, there's so many different kinds of ways to eat, and so I understand why you don't really go into what, but with when, at first, I think when I had stopped eating in between hunger and when I wouldn't eat that first hunger, I kind of felt like my metabolism had kind of tanked.
Uh-huh.
Now that I've been doing it a while, it doesn't really feel like that. So what's your thoughts and options about metabolism, keeping it up, and what exactly, how does your body, and maybe with some people, your body maybe intuitively burns fat and keeps your metabolism up with that skipped hunger eating, and sometimes it doesn't. So,
Okay.
do you know what I'm saying?
So you want to know, see, I believe that the eating process that I teach really does go to speeding up your metabolism
Mm-hmm.
and cleansing.
Right.
So specifically, are you asking me now that you've been doing that for a while, why you don't feel like your metabolism is going as fast as it was? Is that what you're saying?
I feel like now that I've done it for a while, my body knows it's going to get fed. So it's using fat.
Uh-huh.
At first, I don't feel like it did that. I kind of feel like I didn't have any energy, and maybe it's because I was kind of going into a starvation mode type of thing.
Right. A lot of people do that and don't realize it.
Right. And so now my body knows it's going to eat the next hunger.
Mm-hmm.
Just, everything's fine, and, the hunger pains aren't anything. I just, go through it. But I was just wondering about, so you had just said that. You said that the metabolism actually increases?
I believe it speeds it up. I've noticed it in myself, and I have seen it in my clients when we are consistently, because when our metabolism's faster, we have more energy and our body's using fat.
Right.
So if we're just doing these simple habits and eating just when we feel hunger and stopping as soon as we feel the sigh, we're not putting on fat, so it's speeding. So that way our body's going, oh, thank you, and it's not putting on heaviness.
Right.
And, a faster metabolism produces non-heaviness, like light, right?
Mm-hmm.
and so, and then, yeah, I don't know how to answer that any better, Stacy. I feel like you answered it really well.
Can I answer?
Go ahead.
Your body is going to speed up its metabolism if it's comfortable doing it. It has to. This is one of the things that I like about Slimdown, about the Real Girl Slimdown, is that it actually gives you the physical plan to follow. It gives you a guideline to follow, but in addition to that, your body's only going to do what it feels like safe doing, what it feels like it's allowed, and what it's safe doing. And
you know what? That's a really good point. This is where some belief breakthrough may serve you really well.
This is the half of this program. I listen to all the questions and I have to admit I'm a little bit disturbed that it's all on the physical and why isn't this working, or why do we have to do this? And the other half of this program, they go in tandem. It's belief breakthrough, because your body will not release what it doesn't feel safe releasing. It has to feel safe, and you get to get in tune with your body and communicate with it in such a way that it's basically therapy. It's marriage therapy. With your body, you've got to learn to get along. This is what's going to take you through your life and into the next. This is what you have, and you're together. You may as well learn to get along.
That's a really good point. And this reminds me, I've heard story after story after story where people, I don't get on the scale. I use my clothes to measure me, and I use the tape measure. So I don't get on the scale, but I have heard story after story of people that are consistently doing belief breakthrough, doing tests like this, and it looks like this. They get on the scale and they weigh themselves, and then they do a belief breakthrough. And then they get back on within a half an hour. I hear like it's only been about 5 minutes, that kind of thing. They do a belief breakthrough, they work on themselves, and they work on the core belief, and then they get back on the scale, and it's literally 5 pounds lighter. I'm hearing this again and again and again from different people. So, I mean, that's an experiment you might try. If you're feeling like you're not getting smaller, and you're feeling like you want to speed your slim down up, definitely be applying belief breakthrough. And if you don't know how to do that, make sure you're in touch with one of our coaches so that we can help you with that.
And it's interesting too, because now that you said that, it really, I felt, because I'm the person that when I get up in the morning, I can actually start to feel my motor start running.
Yeah.
My body actually revs up like a car. It's really interesting. But when at first I felt like my metabolism was going down, I actually had a conversation with myself when I would be hungry, and I would say, oh, it's okay, we'll eat next time. Everything's fine. You just go ahead and burn the fat reserves, just kind of had a conversation with myself. And I guess that's when, like Larry said, there was a
shift.
Yes, shift. Yeah. And I was working with my body to be like, oh, don't freak out. Everything's great. You can just use the fat stores. Food is coming. And that's when that occurred. And then I felt like my metabolism was going back up again.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I think that's a really important thing to notice in yourself. Awesome. All right, does anybody else have anything that they want to come forward with and ask about or share about at this point?
I just wanted to add something really quick.
Okay.
Most of the success that I've had, because my story is that I've had so much resistance to the physical stuff that I just shut down. Mm-hmm. And so once I started this, what my success has come through has been all about the belief breakthrough and really getting in touch with me and learning my hunger signals again, and not feeling obligated to eat just because it's in front of me if it's not something that I really want at that moment.
Right. That's huge. Thank you, Angela. that the things that come up for us when we have food in front of us, I even feel this. I have to remember my perfect self-talk when I sit down and feed my family, and I ate an hour before because that's when I was hungry. And so when I sit down with them, I got to make sure I remember not to put food on my plate just because we're all eating together. That's okay for me to sit there with a glass of water and be with my family while they eat. I already ate, and I'm not obligated to eat again just because we're all eating right now. So thank you for that. There's a lot of scarcity mentality, scarcity in being emotionally supported, and scarcity in, am I going to have this again? And, this is yummy and we don't have this all the time. It's okay to wrap something up and put it in the fridge with your name on it. You can do that. It's all right. Does anybody else have something that they want to share? Okay, if we don't have anything else, I want to just remind you that we are doing this every week. I'm not doing an open Q&A every week. Next week, Terry Huffaker is going to teach, let's see, 5 Steps of Health. Oh, she's teaching 5 Steps of Health. And part of that is a mental detox. And so she's going to be bringing that to us and helping us see this from a different angle. Everybody learns in a different way. So we're going to bring this to you in as many ways as we can. And also, I invite you to bring your questions because there will be some Q&A at the end. And then always remember that you are welcome in one of our programs. And if you haven't had a discovery session with the butterfly process, I hope that you will ask for one, because we want to help you with that, even if there's nothing else that you need from us. That's so liberating, and I want to give that to anybody who needs it. All right. I love you all. I will see you next week, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.